Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
That's a hell of a way to start.
Yeah, baby.
I miss your friendship as well. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the saddle. It's your boy, Braylon, man. Welcome back. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. No Maz today, but it feels good to be back. Ricky, Pete joining us as well. Ryan, I'm just so glad to be back, man. It was truly the trip that I didn't know I needed.
I want to hear all about it.
Right.
And for the people watching on your phone, on your television screen, on your laptop, do not adjust your television screen. It is both of us here together at once.
Still don't match.
What's funny about this, Ricky Burns, Pete Spivak? You know what's funny about this? I was talking to somebody at Fox 2 today. I will not reveal who that was. And we were just talking about, man, I'm in and out of Woodward Sports. I got this. You've got some responsibilities in the summer. D-Max doing his wrestling. So everybody's doing this, and a couple of other places, a couple of other media places we're talking about. Man, I'll tell you, and I hope you get to do this at your job. Whatever job you have, it is good to be able to take a couple of days off and be a little bit more loose in the summertime. Because when you ramp up during football season, when the kids are in school and it's regular time, as I say, during regular time, and regular time for me is mid to late August through the end of May.
Yeah.
That's what mid to late August through the end of May. That's regular time.
Right.
I feel like it's kind of like the school year
For us. Yeah.
for us and for a lot of people. I mean, I talked to a guy. I sent an email to a guy today. I haven't heard from him for a little bit, so I sent an email today. I get kicked back. I'll be out of the office
I'm out of
for
here.
the next like 2 weeks.
Deal with it.
And I'm like, that's
for
awesome. I think that's what prompted this discussion that I was having with one of my colleagues at Fox 2. It's like summertime gums. You know what Colin Cowherd was talking about today?
What was you talking about?
He was going through game by game of the New York Giants schedule.
Oh, yeah. Because trying to find a conversation.
It's summertime, man.
Summertime. Reaching.
Future best. That's it.
Future best.
Summertime. This is the time for this stuff.
Yeah.
Have a little fun. Do what you got to do. And, of course, if you do work outside in this, man,
We appreciate you.
I commend
yes.
you. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
What else could you say about that, Bray?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Unless you're making money like they are on the PGA Tour. No, you're right. You had a little bit of time. Took it also, too, is business related, man, once you kind of hear the stories. First and foremost, I would be remiss if I didn't open the show up by saying happy birthday, 35th birthday, to my baby sister, Miranda Jade Plater, and also her husband. Guess what? You guessed it. His birthday is today as well. Cameron Harris.
Nice.
So Miranda Jade Harris and Cameron Harris, same day.
Man.
Cam turns 37. Jay's the big 3-5 or the little 3-5.
So think about what you just said. The baby
And
of the family is
100%.
35.
35.
she's always
Same
my
amount.
baby sister. She's older than Berkeley, Bailey, and Brooklyn. But she's the first sibling I ever had. She's always baby. She's always baby
That
sister.
is
So he never gets to celebrate his birthday,
Right.
basically.
No, and then they got married too. This will be their 3rd year married. So yeah, he's been off the books, man, for about 3 years now. And what sucks too, well, does not suck. Rain's birthday is a week after theirs.
Oh yeah, that
The daughter,
overshadows
so
it
it's
all.
like now you got
gosh.
100%. So happy birthday. Love you dearly. Very proud of the mother that she's become.
That's what's up.
She's the one that got my faith back to where it is
love
now.
that.
She brought me
Right.
back to the church. So just nothing but positive things said about my sister. Love you, and
Boy,
we'll
I
see
love
you
that.
later. Love you.
Yeah.
And we can, and we all thank you.
Yeah, right.
Miranda, we all thank you.
You know what, Ryan? I appreciate that.
Yeah,
you know what?
we all thank you because we
missed
can
that-
all see it.
I
We
missed
can
that
all
quick
feel
wit,
it.
if you will. And I appreciate that. Thank you. You owe a lot of that to her. But the trip was magnificent. So Joey Harrington and the Harrington Family Foundation, they've been doing this for 15 years. It used to be just the Pac-10 challenge because that's the conference Oregon was in. They're now in the Big Ten. And what they do is 2 guys from each school. You play around the golf on Friday. You play around on Saturday. You play around the golf on Sunday. The highest index score, it wins. It was nothing but legends, man. But the views, like, these are the legends. This isn't everybody
run
there.
us through here. Tell us who's there.
So this is the final round. These are the guys that flew out yesterday night. So it was only 7, 8 of us. You got myself, Eric Crouch is right there.
Eric Crouch,
Heisman
wow.
Trophy winner. He's next to Danny Farmer. Danny Farmer had a great NFL career. Joey Harrington's right there. You recognize the green. Joey Galloway.
Joey Galloway.
Kyle McCann, who was a quarterback at Iowa my freshman year. Tall, 6'8" player. He was a super good golfer, super great guy. Raymond Montgomery played at Ohio State as well. Me and Joey Galloway, this is the things that you get in these kind of arenas, and they just take shape and form. Joey Galloway and I, Michigan, Ohio State, you know what we bonded over? The fact that he's 1-3 against Michigan, I'm 1-3 against Ohio State.
Oh, that's
so
hilarious.
now you bond and now you talk. We talk the space of, broadcasting, how he got into it.
He's phenomenal,
He's
by the
great.
way, on ESPN.
One of the things he told me? He said, this is how I talk. If I give you a piece of advice, he said, talk like you talk in your, like, all the time. He said, I was like, what are you talking about? He said, I talk like this now, so I don't have to change. I said, well, are you coming at me? No. I'm just giving you a piece of advice. Yeah. But then I go back and you watch the tape. Joey Galloway on the golf course. Is Joey Galloway in the weight room? Is Joey Galloway on the run? Is Joey Galloway in the business meeting? Is Joey Galloway on the show? Much like yourself. Like, you don't change, which, you know what it tells me? It's a level of authenticity and consistency.
And then people get to know who you are at that point, and then they can make a decision whether or not they like you or not.
Yeah.
But whether they like you or not, it's you are who you are. You're 100%. Not going to be some fake person. Yeah. Because if they see you at a ball game or they see you at the grocery store,
it's B from here.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I appreciate, because this show has allowed me to be that. Like, I don't have to be how they are on that show. I can be that here, and that's what you see when you get me. But just to see those stars, celebrities, Jonathan Ogden's there. He's still massive, 6'8", 340 pounds, hell of a golfer. Musa and Muhammad represent MSU for all you Sparty slappies. Dallas Clark representing for Iowa for all you Iowa Buckeyes. 2 Heisman Trophy winners in the building. Kajana Carter on the left, Eric Crouch on the right.
Muhsin Muhammad, one of the great stories that Nick Saban has ever told. Do you
Mike Allstott. I didn't even know Mike Allstott went to Purdue.
Oh, wow.
I remember that because he was a white running back. I wanted
that was
right.
That's fair.
It gave me hope. Right? It gave me hope. I was
fair.
Like, this dude can play. He played for the Bucks.
That's such a great perspective, though.
Listen,
like, Mike
that's real.
I'm like,
if Mike Allstott, this dude can get to the NFL. This dude can be a running back.
That's great, right?
But you know what? That's real. And until you see something, you can't necessarily imagine it.
But in our culture, we always talk about it from a black perspective. Right. The first black thing. I never thought about a white boy seeing a white running back.
Right.
Like, wait, I can do that.
Right. I was a white running back. And a white safety.
And never came out of the game.
Jason Sehorn. I wasn't a quarterback, but it's a safety.
Sehorn moved to safety, though.
Yeah, but Sehorn, Allstott. Yeah. Who is my other guy from Tampa?
Joe Juravision?
No, gosh, I loved him.
The running back? Work done? Another white running back?
Yeah.
I ran out.
He hit his head so much. Rocky
Blyer from
somebody in the channel let me know my brain is not working properly right now. But
for the Bucks?
Maybe it was, man.
It's not the Bucks. Mike Allstott is it for
maybe
the
it was Mike Allstott.
But with
Tom Rathman maybe for the 49ers.
Tom Rathman was actually Tom Rathman he was a coach when I played for the 49ers. Mm-hmm. He was on the staff. And he still, first one, Braylon got a dip in his mouth. Love Tom. But it was fun, though, man. Like, the views, Ryan, views out there were insane. Like, just breathtaking. This was from the sunset yesterday. You had views on the coast, videos of coastlines. Like, play one of those videos.
Should we do some? I was about to say, you want to do some videos?
Yeah, drop one of those videos.
There you go.
Pick one.
I'm chilling here with the best
So, Ryan,
caddy
this is
in
on
America,
you're
the
listening.
mayor of Lakeside.
This is my cat.
Man, you gotta tell us
Nikki.
about this whole
She really
part
is
three we
a
just
mayor.
played.
She's mayor of
You told
Lakeside,
me
which is a
interesting
small
facts
town, 1900,
about it,
about
and
40
it
minutes from
is-
Baydun.
This hole right here is the westernmost point of golf in the continental United States.
Is that
Really?
right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did your teammate just do?
You know.
You want some? He just parted.
He just parted.
You see what it is? I told you we were having fun, man. Go blue. Yeah.
Like, just that landscape. Just let that sink in, man. It's just And that cliff is deceiving. That's about a 250-foot drop off that cliff. It has implications like Scotland, that whole cliffside over there. But it was fun. And I think...
Is this you here?
This is me. This is a tee shot. That's the cliff to my right. Ryan, it was just so beautiful. Pete, Ricky.
That's like nothing that's incredible stuff.
It's kind of hard to process and talk about still. I just know I was out there with my thoughts. It was amazing to look at. Like, if you didn't believe he existed before you see this,
right.
Nothing will ever bring you to that point talking about God. And the coolest thing, too, is you think about these icons, legends. Everybody there is Heisman Trophy finalist, winner, consensus All-American, all these. Not a lot have NFL stardom or stats. We got around this campfire, and I'm trying to find my niche. This is my first time that they've opened it up to the Big Ten, so this is my first time at the outing. Some of these guys have been coming, like Billy Miller's been coming since year one. Danny Farmer's been coming since year one. So how do I create my niche? Yeah. So we're around a campfire. Guys are smoking stogies, other things, drinking wine, conversating, fellowshipping, if you will. Eric Crouch is a hell of a man, by the way.
Is he really?
He's a hell of a man. His story, I'll get into it. Where's my niche? I work on the show. We ask questions all the time.
Yeah.
Ryan, I asked the first question, and it just took off. I asked Joey Harrington, "You're Mr. Oregon, but was there another school?" And he starts telling his Stanford story. And then he tells Kyle McCann was also on that trip. And then it opens up, well, Lee Evans, where would you have gone? Because me and Lee are a year apart. Well, I would have done this. And everybody just starts, like, conversating. Then stories start coming out. Then you just see, like, the bravado drop.
Yeah.
Then you see, like, the All-American drop, the Heisman drop, what pick you in drop. It was just guys having conversation, guys talking about these things. Man, I'll never forget those moments.
And probably, Bray, that's one of those situations where, two things about that. Yeah. One, that's a situation that you would probably never be in if you weren't in as good a space as you are now. That's number one.
Appreciate that.
And number two, and I forget sometimes, and we all probably forget, you're Braylon freaking Edwards.
Say it with your chest.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You are Braylon freaking Edwards. Right. And, Angelique Shingelis wrote an article in the news today about Eric Campbell coming back, Soup Campbell coming back to coach the wide receivers. And she listed the prominent wide receivers that Soup Campbell coached. Right. And Braylon Edwards wasn't listed in the body. He was number one. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you kind of forget as you go through life this amazing life you've created for yourself to be amongst those great players and those great people and just shooting the breeze.
Cool thing about it too is I think every star, regardless of how arrogant you are, how insecure you are, whatever you are, like when you get around your peers, especially if they're younger, if they're older, in your mind you're kind of like, are they really familiar with my work? Or am I coming here to be like, oh, Kajana, it's good to see you, Heisman Trophy winner. And then you get the first cat, Mike Allstott is the first person I saw the day we golfed. He was like, oh, man, loved you at Michigan, man. You're the type of guy that could block. I was like, Mike Allstott's no, I'm a blocking wide receiver. Yeah. And it's just cool. It's cool to see. It's cool to let your hair down and you don't have to play a certain thing, or you don't have to, be a certain way. You can just be what you are, which is one of them.
And y'all can share unique stories that only people who have reached that caliber that you guys reached can have. You can't have those stories with me or Ryan. We'll talk about, being nominated for Heisman's or playing D1 and all these, trophies that you won and stuff like that. Like I know that was great.
Can I add one thing in real quick? Because Eric Campbell came from Bowling Green, and Bray, I think I showed you this one time. It listed under Eric Campbell's, his biography of the players that he coached into greatness, and Braylon was the first player listed. I mean, in the Bowling Green media guide. So that's how much respect even the whole college football world has for Braylon Edwards.
Man, the cool thing too is everybody had a different story and how they got there. Mm-hmm. Like some people got stories like there were guys that weren't even 2 stars or 3 stars. Hell, I was a 3-star. Danny Farmer was 0 stars. A bunch of guys. And then they got to that point, and then they made a name for themselves. Some guys were high draft picks, and then there was nothing in the NFL. Like, so many guys had journeys and stories. Oh, you just think All-American. You think first-round draft pick. Everything was great. guys had to work, guys had to grind. These things went wrong, these things went right. But super cool. Joey is the hostess with the mostest.
Oh.
These were
no kidding.
Everybody received their own personal Oregon.
Yeah, right.
Nike Phil Knight, you get it. But he's kind of the one that launched it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, but these was for him. It was dope. His foundation has done so much work in Oregon, boots on ground, man. They raise money for scholarships, and it's not necessarily any institution. It's just helping people that need money, need that extra. So I appreciate being a part of it. It made me feel like part of the family and told me I was there forever. So guess what? We got an email chain now. Do you know how many guys are going to be on this show now?
Right.
From this point, moving forward, and then when football season goes on,
that's what
based
it's all
on
about,
whatever
dude.
Michigan's playing, we got a guy that's going to come on that week. Based on whoever the Lions are playing, if I can connect to a guy, we got a guy that's going to come on that week. That's what they said this weekend was about. It was about networking beyond playing golf, getting drunk.
And everybody pulling for everybody, too. I mean, just the fact that Joey Galloway would pull you aside and say, hey, this is what has worked for me and helped me get to this point. I'd like to share that with you. And the fact that you accept that. So many people maybe either not do it or not accept the advice. So I think that's important. One of the areas that I always found interesting, even with you, and we've talked about this before, probably more so when we first started the show back in 2021, but I think about a guy like Eric Crouch, so celebrated his entire youth. You get to Nebraska, you win a Heisman Trophy, you have all these people cheering for you, and then it stops.
I told you you're a wide receiver.
Yeah, and then you have all these people booing you. And then you don't even have people cheering you or booing you. Now you have to get into the real world. Or Joey Harrington, and Joey was pretty candid about it himself. You know, he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's larger than life in Times Square. He comes to the Lions, and it's a disaster. Yeah, and he even mentioned, he's like, you were kind, saying I'm a lightning rod. That's the nicest intro I've ever gotten because I was just universally hated. When you go from being so loved to so hated to so nothing, really.
Yeah, normal.
To just a normal person. And, oh, by the way, you wake up and you're 30 years old, maybe 28 years old.
Right, you got so much time left.
That's a really, really hard transition, I would think.
But look at this, though. Like, things just happen. Sometimes it's not your skill or not. It's legitimately circumstantial. This is Joey Harrington in a nutshell. And he explained this over the campfire. And I was like, you talk about having it rough. I got to stop complaining about my career and how it turned out. Joey gets drafted by the Lions. Already at that point in time, 2002, we know what these Lions were. They were trashed. The organization was trashed. They ran things in a trash manner. He had to experience that. Oh, by the way, they drafted 3 first-round wide receivers. Only one of them kind of worked. Roy Williams, offensive line, decent, never had a running game. And then the situation is botched. They move on from Joey. Goes to the Dolphins at the end of Nick Saban's deal. By the time Nick Saban's deal happens, he left before the season was over. Like, Nick Saban left before the season was over. This is Joey Harrington's 1 year there. That's a complete debacle. No system in place. That's 5 years in the league. Now he goes to Atlanta in 2007. Well, he went to Atlanta because I want to go be a good backup, serviceable backup, get paid to do that, hold the clipboard. I'm fine with that, but still get my footing and get a spot. Guess what happened in 2007 behind Michael Vick and the Atlanta Falcons? You guessed it. It's the year where Michael Vick dog fighting.
Oh, wow.
But so Joey rolled his ankle in the offseason and didn't tell anybody because he didn't think he was going to play anyway. So when that happens, Joey Harrington's ankle's rolled. He gets passed up by Chris Redman. Like, and then eventually he's out of the league. But just like circumstance after circumstance after circumstance. For organizational regimes that change. So it's not necessarily the players a lot of times. It's what's in front of them, what's around them, and how it's run. And that's why the Lions are in the space that they're in now, because it's run the right way.
It's so interesting to hear these stories, especially for a guy of my age, too. And Braylon, I'm just a little bit older than you.
But we know the same
not much.
people.
No, I'm just kidding.
Same wheelhouse.
Same wheelhouse, but all those guys that you played with were all guys that were in college when I was, kind of there, and maybe even a little bit after. But some of those names, such an impact in my upbringing in my youth, or a younger version of Ryan Ermanni, I guess, college football 100%. And even into the pros and everybody's story. The Muhsin Muhammad story is an interesting one. I don't know if you've seen the viral video. Perhaps you have. Perhaps you haven't. But Nick Saban tells it, and I've actually looked for this a couple of times. I haven't been able to find it on demand as I wanted to find it. But Nick Saban is at Alabama, and he's telling a story. One of their players at Alabama got in trouble, and Nick Saban kept him on the team and didn't kick him off the team. And Braylon, correct me if I'm wrong. As the story goes, Saban says there was a player at Michigan State that got in trouble, and everybody wanted Saban to kick him off the team. Media pressure, school, everybody wanted Saban to kick this player who got in trouble out. Saban did not kick him out, but he had consequences. He had to be there early. He had to stay late. He had to keep a certain GPA. He had to make sure he wasn't in trouble. He earned his way back onto the team. He earned his way back onto the field, and ultimately he was a 10-year veteran in the NFL. He's married, has kids, has put kids through college. It's just a true reclamation story of a man who made a mistake, who was given a chance, and did right with that chance. Got his degree, made millions of dollars, never got in trouble again, and is just a good person and a good person in society, and is giving back.
Ricky, he's that uncle. He's that uncle that had a couple run-ins early on, turned it around, and now when you see him, he's the big uncle. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Yeah.
That's who
you
he
can tell
is.
him anything.
Like when I tell you, he always brings you into the folks. What's up? Come on, B.
Yeah.
What's up? How you doing? What's the word? What's latest? Talk to him. But just that great energy. You're absolutely right, Ryan. I sent it to you.
This is awesome. I don't know. Can I just play this on my phone right here?
Sure.
Or no?
Yeah.
I know is that
As
all
long as
right?
there's no music on
Oh,
it.
it's actually 4 minutes. Never mind.
Yeah,
No, it's too long.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna keep that.
You gotta clip it. You gotta
Yeah,
clip
one-
it.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm gonna keep that. Thanks, dude.
He's a great dude.
It's
Basically,
amazing.
you're absolutely 100% correct. And what he said was, I knew that there were two options here. If I, the guy that brought him in, after everything is going on right now in this moment, say goodbye to him and kick him out, I don't know what the alternative is. I don't know what becomes of Muhsin Muhammad. I don't know if he goes down a darker path because he feels rejected and ridiculed, and now he furthers what's going on, or he turns it around. But if I keep him here, at least I can keep my eyes on him because there is something special about Muhsin. I know probably was down there deep, but I'm going to make him work to get it.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, and Muhsin turned out the way he
Amen to
did.
that one.
That wasn't the only event I went to. We did forget about the one that is actually from my alma mater. Charles Woodson had his golf event.
Yeah,
as
man.
well as event on Main. This was the flower pattern that they did.
I saw you saw my girl Teresa there.
100%. I spoke to her, kicked her with Teresa's hilarious, by the way. But it was great. Dave Harris, Tyrone Wheatley, Sean Crable, Dave Boss. Just being around that
Oh, God,
energy
this
is different,
is-
too. These are people I know.
Talking about my wheelhouse.
Jared Irons right there. You know Jared. We've had him on the show. C. Wood right there. Had him on the show. You see in the right there. That
sorry,
was
man.
Jaden Davis.
Oh yeah,
That's Jaden Davis. Talked to those young guys as well as Channing. These guys,
Ron.
great energy. I love these kids at Michigan now. Ron Bellany in the suit, rocking it well. There's all you Detroit lovers. Jeff Backus.
Or as Lions fans call him. I'm not even gonna do him like
No,
that. He was a great Lion,
yeah.
Jeff Backus.
And this, as you see, getting towards the end of the night, a little bit, a little more fun. You know what I'm saying? But amazing event. They merged with Event on Main a couple years back, Charles Woodson, and they've been raising money for CMS Mott Children's Hospital. I want to say they raised $750,000 throughout the course of everything over the week. It's just amazing to see someone come back and give to, a cause that has nothing to necessarily do with him. And you and I have both worked in CMS Mott, and what it means to us. Well, it means that much to Chuck, too. So it was fun. And seeing the Michigan legends is always fun. The different eras of guys that show up. So shout out to Charles. I had a great time.
And that's a testament to Charles Woodson, too, to see not only giving money back to CS Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor and having these events and not just writing a check but showing up, but getting all of the teammates and all of the Michigan family to show up too. That's how you know what a guy means to a university. Yeah. When Braylon Edwards never played with Charles Woodson, but you know who was there for him on that night? Braylon Edwards was there for. You know what I mean? Like things like
100%.
that kind of goes to show you who who these guys are away from the uniform when people show up to your events like that.
Scott Dry. The name's like
Scott Dreisbach.
That's one of the names. I've always wanted to meet Scott.
Brian Greasy should give half his career earnings to Scott Dreisbach.
100%. If he doesn't go down.
Yeah, that's right. If he doesn't get hurt, Brian Greasy, 1997, does not happen. I firmly believe that.
I feel the same way about Derek Alexander and Desmond Howard.
Yeah, that's true.
Derek Alexander was the number 1 wide receiver for the Wolverines. Desmond was a running back converted to wide out. And then Derek got hurt towards ACL.
That's right.
And what happened? Somebody struck the poles at the end of the season.
Isn't that something?
It happened to Devontae Smith. What was it? Jalen Waddle was the number 1 wide receiver.
That's right.
Towards ACL. Devontae Smith steps in, won the Heisman.
Isn't that amazing how life happens like that? There's so much that could potentially happen. It's just bizarre to me how that happens.
But the crazy thing about it too is, but you see, this is when you see the resiliency of players. This is when you see who can rise to the forefront, because Derek Alexander towards ACL, came back to Michigan, still got drafted first round. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, came back to Alabama, still got drafted first round the following year. Sometimes guys just, I'm out, I'm done. Those guys came back, they both were first rounders, so it worked.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Trajan Langdon spoke today. What is the Pistons' plan this offseason? You may not like it. We'll tell you about.
Is the finals over? Yeah, I haven't been here. Is the finals over? Jeez,
we'll tell you about that. Braylon going to react to the finals as well. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on the expert sports injury insights with Dr. Pierce from Michigan Sport and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during our show, Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that D-Mac and Maz trust. Got that elbow together. Braylon went to him too. I hope I don't have to go to him. You said what?
He works.
Yeah, he works. Make sure you check him out, man. Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportandSpine.com or just call them 248-426-9944. We'll be right back.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Check out Massage Chair House in West Bloomfield, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. With the top brands of massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki located by us near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit today at www.massagechairhouse.com, or you can scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to the ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Look, check this out. I may not have been in town, but I still was getting my workout on. But now that I'm back, I'll be back at Planet Fitness. And for all you 14 and 19-year-olds out there, guess what? It's free. There's not a lot that's free in life these days, but this is free all summer long. It's the free all summer workout. It's a high school summer pass, if you will. Show up, show out, do what you want to do. Remember, there's no judgment. We want to get you out of the house. Health is wealth, and mental health is important as well. So that's why we want to get you guys out of the house, get you to the gym, man, get you in a fun-filled, positive environment. There's no judgment. It's clean gyms. What more could you want? And guess what? Once again, it's free. And for those of you that are adults that are paying, we still got fitness that fits into your budget.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Pete Spivak, Ricky Burns here. Maz out today. I'll be back tomorrow. Guys, first round of the NBA draft is tomorrow. Second round is on Thursday. Trajan Langdon spoke to the media today, just about an hour or so ago. If you're watching this live, as of now, it's 2:30 on Tuesday. If you're watching this live. So Trajan Langdon said this, and I'm going to read you essentially, we're not going to be super aggressive this offseason. We will not be super aggressive this offseason. That's from Kool-Aid, and that is right on our Woodward Sports Network social media. Trajan Langdon says the Detroit Pistons will not be super aggressive this offseason. Before we even go any further,
okay,
you hear that, and your immediate reaction is what?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Immediately, that's my reaction. I believe it's the reaction because we saw the same thing happen with the Detroit Tigers the previous season. They came off getting to the playoffs, won a playoff series against the Houston Astros, almost won a playoff series against the Cleveland Guardians, and they lose. And now you're looking like, all right, they're got to make a move. It's got to be a big move. It's got to be this. They still stuck with all the young talent they had, stuck with all the pitchers that they had. They stuck with their prospects for the most part. Bought in some color, bought in Gleyber Torres, bought in the pitcher here. But they stuck with the bulk of what they had. They didn't trade a lot of prospects. They didn't trade future picks and do all that for the splash players. Because I understand they went after Alex Bregman, but people in the offseason thought they were going to go after players, 1, 2, 3, a third baseman, a first baseman. Here's a guy that can hit you 35 dingers or so. They didn't. They respected because you know what, Ryan? They wanted to see if there was something more there before they made that move. You look at what the Pistons did last year, being able to go from 14 to 44 and be able to be a nickel throw away from beating the Knicks, who go on to the Eastern Conference Finals, all without Jaden Ivey, who we understand how well he was playing last year, without Beef Stew, who we understand is the enforcer and would have played a much more physical role against the Knicks. I'm not mad at it. They understand they got to get a stretch maybe here, get a consistent 3-ball there, but I wouldn't do a lot either because you don't know what you don't know, and the East isn't necessarily the greatest right now. It's a lot of turmoil. See for one more year before you make a move like that.
So it's funny you say that because just staring you in the face, looking at the Pistons and looking at nothing else, absolutely this is the right call.
Yeah.
To not be super aggressive, not go in and just to sell the farm for Giannis and do all this and make some crazy trade that may or may not help you. You think it does now, but it's going to hurt you in the long run. I don't think I was very clear about the Lions. I don't think you can draft your way to a championship.
Yeah.
And I think the Pistons will be at some point in that kind of realm where they're going to have to figure out, is this team a championship team, or could we draft ourselves to a championship? I don't think that's going to be the case either.
Yeah.
But I do think you are so far ahead of where anybody thought you were,
including
going
yourselves.
to be, including all of us.
Yeah.
Even the Pistons organization.
Pistons. Yeah, that's what I was
exactly.
saying.
So far ahead of where they thought they should be. I feel like they owe it to themselves. They owe it to their core. They owe it to these guys to see how far they could go, how far they could develop if and when healthy. With Jaden Ivey, with Isaiah Stewart, with some of these guys, get a tweak here and there and try to improve it that way and see where you are next year. I think that's probably the appropriate way to go about this offseason. Yeah. However, here's where part of me is tugging on that. And if somebody firmly disagrees with this, I would understand. Circumstances are circumstances. Jason Tatum, out. Celtics, done. Tyrese Halliburton, out. Pacers, done. New York Knicks fired their head coach. They'll be in there, but they are in complete and total chaos. They are
done.
The Miami Heat, in complete disarray. They are done.
Yeah,
Cleveland Cavaliers, you look around. Do they scare you? Not at all. So you do look around the Eastern Conference. Orlando, nice team. Probably going to be a top 3, top 4 team next year in the
Orlando
East.
made a big move.
But do the circumstances change how you feel about how aggressive you want to be this offseason? Because you look at this Eastern Conference and you say, man, one star player away from potentially making it to an NBA Finals when just 2 years prior you won 14 games. That would be the greatest turnaround in the history of sports. And that is enticing. Trajan Langdon's job is to perhaps not be so enticed at the big juicy steak at the end of the road. He's trying to build the ingredients to get to the dinner table.
Yeah, it's basically like when you're in the forest, you can't necessarily see how close you are to the outing, so you panic. When you're 20,000 feet up looking at the forest, it's like, oh, shoot, it's really not that much more. It's only a half mile down the road. And I think that's what's going on with Trajan Langdon. Trajan Langdon sees it as, we're not that far away. You want to?
No, go ahead, dude.
Oh, no. We're just going to say we're not that far away. Let's see what we have. We had a couple players not playing this. And then with those players being out and it being like that, that's even more reason to lock into this and see what this can grow to be. Because players are going to get better this offseason, younger guys. The camaraderie and chemistry will grow. The trust in one another will grow. They didn't win a playoff game like the Tigers did, but what did that win for the Tigers do? It took their confidence as young players to the next level, to what we're seeing right now. They're the best team in baseball, at least statistically. Wins and losses, if you want to go that route. That's what it did. So they're going to be a much better version of themselves next year. And Cade will now walk into this year with the energy. I could have been first-team All-NBA. Now, second is more honest, but I could have been first-team All-NBA. They talked about me last year. I see what I was able to do with my guys. Now I have to take it up a notch. I think he will take it up a notch.
Pete?
I have the video if you want it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I thought the playoffs were a lot of fun. I think us being in the first round gave our guys incredible experience and a great feel for what it actually entails to compete at that level and against a really good Knicks team that we got a chance to play 6 games against. And then watching the finals and the lead up to the finals, I thought it was some spectacular basketball on both sides. I think it shows that you need depth is important in this style of play. The game's getting faster, it's getting bigger. There's so many players on the court that have skill. So those are the things that were apparent, but the whole league is seeing that. And I think we have some players that fit that on our roster right now, and I think they showed that in the first round of the series against the Knicks. So continuing to improve and develop our young players, I think, is going to be paramount for us going forward, and continuing to add pieces around that fit and can enhance their development.
Yeah, no, what I love about this is, look, it's funny because Brad Holmes' energy is a little different for the Lions. And when Brad Holmes says something, he has a little moxie in his voice to talk. But you want Brad to talk that talk because that's the identity of the Detroit Lions. Trajan Langdon's completely different. Trajan Langdon's smooth. He's methodical. He's very reserved. He's relaxed. He's chill when he's giving information. This is what you want. You don't want someone just to make a in-the-moment move. You don't want someone to get enticed with something that looks really good right now, that they forego paying attention what could be later on this season, next season. What are the implications? What are you actually giving away to attain this player? What is this player going to come in here talking about a superstar, if you will? What is this player going to do, and how is the chemistry going to change? How is the need to fit what this player is going to become the norm? So, no, you know what? We have enough pieces with a New York team that's in a frenzy, with a Celtics team with no Jason Tatum, and then, like you said, with Halliburton out. Those guys, they matter.
One of the things about, Trajan Langdon, too, is he seems like a guy in the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, even Scott Harris mold.
What's best for the Pistons and only.
Exactly. That, but also when they speak to the media, there's really not a ton of deception. When they speak to the media, they tell you exactly how it's going to go down. And I can't think of a time when any one of them at this point, Trajan, Dan, Brad, Scott Harris, I can't think of a time where one of them even said one thing that really wasn't truthful to the fans. When Langdon, okay, now if Langdon says that and goes after Giannis, he's lying, and that was deception.
Right.
But Brad Holmes said, we're not going after another edge rusher.
Yeah.
We're going to sit tight in the first round. We're going to pick our guy. We're going to let the board come to us. We're not going to get crazy in free agency. Dan Campbell, has he ever lied to you? I mean, that you know of, that you can point to and say he wasn't really truthful here. He said this guy was going to make the team and he cut him. None of that. Steve Yzerman, like him or whatever you want to say about him, he has never been dishonest about his feelings about the players on the Red Wings, where they are as an organization, and what their goals are. I mean, he has never been dishonest about that.
Can I ask a question about that? Does that lead you to believe, how do I phrase this? Those individuals had great certain amount of confidence that they weren't being fired, regardless of what the plan was, because it was already maybe discussed. I think a lot of organizations, you see guys hold a little more close to the vest. They don't know what tomorrow is. They don't know what the next season is. They don't know what the moves they might make to get them fired. I think with Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, they had a great talk with Sheila Hamm. Remember early on, 3-13-1. Then the following season, 0-6, she doubled down on the energy she had for Brad and for Dan. I think the same with Yzerman. He's not going anywhere, and he operates in that space. And I think Trajan, whatever the conversation with Tom Gores was on the autonomy and what you are and what you're not going to do, Tom Gores is happy you have somebody like this turn this franchise around that has made him $3.5 billion, if we will. I think it's the fact that we know we're not going anywhere, so it allowed them to open up to what they really wanted to be.
Absolutely. Two things can be true. Number one, you need to hire good people. I think, for the most part, each owner in these circumstances hired good people, and those people know this. And that's part of hiring the right person, too, right? It's part of hiring the right person.
That's why the process is so long.
But the right person understands, I may never get to do this job again. So I am going to do it my way. I'm going to do it the way that I think is the right way to go about it. And because of that attitude going into the job, that just means so much more to your success rate. And then when you are going about your business the right way, I mean, everybody in the organization sees it. And if that's the case, then you don't get fired. Results do end up coming. Just look at the Lions. They were 0-10, 3-13-1. Started year 2
0-6,
1-7 or whatever they were. 1-6, 1-7, whatever they were, and then the results came after that. So just look at the AAA across the street or the gas station across the street. If there's a manager in there that their boss allows them to manage the people, the employees down, underneath them, probably got a pretty good work environment.
Yeah.
If that manager has no real pull, doesn't have any power, and is just seen as a figurehead, well, then you're going to have a little bit of chaos underneath you. Yeah. Each of the men that Trajan Langton's in charge of the Detroit Pistons. You want to know something going on with it's not Tom Gores, of course. It's Gores to a certain extent. He's the owner, but Trajan Langton's in charge. Who thinks Brad Holmes is not in charge of the Detroit Lions?
Idiots.
Right, but I'm saying, now to me, A.J. Hinch and Scott Harris work in tandem, to a certain extent, because A.J. Hinch literally is the best manager in baseball. Why wouldn't you want to work in tandem with that if you're the general manager of the team? And Steve Yzerman, there's no doubt who's in charge there at the Red Wings. So I think all of that kind of, it's all about leadership, leading an organization, leading men. And when you do that, when you hire people like that, you hire people who are very comfortable with their process and how they do things. And if you're comfortable with your process and how you do things, ultimately you will get results. At least you expect to get results. And if you don't in this business, you're fired. It's just that simple.
I was going to add real quick, guys. I was looking up during your conversation here the Pistons' future bets, like way too early future bets. Vegas, I think, is kind of thinking the same way you guys are, Ryan, especially with what you're saying. The Pistons, for a future bet, to win the Central, just to win the division, they're the second favorite at plus 900. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
I was going to say, who would be number one?
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers are but minus 500 and then plus 900. There's a lot of discrepancy there, and I have it right here in front of me. There's discrepancy. But I'm saying still Vegas says that your best second hope to win the Central is the Pistons at plus 900, and that's saying something.
And not only that, but if you look at the NBA, what was the best series?
Right.
From start to finish.
Knicks Pistons.
It was the best series.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I know there were a couple of first-round series. I think the Clippers and the Nuggets went 7 games or something like that. But if you look at those individual games.
Realistically, though, Ryan, to your point, all Game 7s outside of the Pistons, we really knew who was going to win it. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds stupid. You didn't go into the game thinking the team that won wasn't going to win.
Right.
The Pistons-Knicks was the only series where you're like, I mean, if Cat gets hot and Brunson's on something, like, I can see the Pistons going down. Look, if Cade catches fire early, Malik heats up in the second half like he's been doing, and they really put the press on him, and the refs let him play, I could see the Pistons winning game. It was the only Game 7 where I believe either other side could win.
So there were, like, for instance, Golden State, Houston, 7 games. That went 7 games. You're like, oh, this is great. It's 7th game.
Houston was going to win that.
Game 1, double-digit win. Game 2, double-digit win. Game 3, double-digit win. Game 4 was close. Game 5, double-digit win. Game 6 was an 8-point win and a double-digit win in Game 7. So in 5 of the 7 games, there was a double-digit win, and one of the games was an 8-point game. So that's not a great – I mean, yes, it went deep. It was a long series, but was it a great series? Yeah. That Pistons-Knicks series was the best of the NBA playoffs. To me.
Yeah, it definitely. It's funny you say were any of those teams good. I can't wait to talk about SGA and those
We
guys.
can talk about it right now.
How good is this team that won? Hold on. In the Pantheon, talking about OKC Thunder, they win. You see the stats. You see the numbers. SGA, MVP of both the regular season as well as the finals, well-deserving. How good is this team, though? When you look at, like, the last 7 teams that have won championships. Like, because we keep talking about how dominant this team is, how great this team is. J-Dub can do this. How good is this team? Is this team better than the Boston Celtics last year? Are they better than that Denver team? Are they better than that Golden State team that beat the Celtics? Are they better than the Lakers that won in the bubble? Are they better than the Raptors? Are they better than, I'm missing one recently. How good is this team? Because in my estimation, I love the story. I love SGA.
Can I answer that question?
Yep.
I don't think they're that great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But they are the best for this era. Each era has a different best.
Yeah.
You know, when LeBron went to Miami and created the Big Three, that was something that we really had never seen before.
Because it led to other big.
Yeah, when you go, yeah, right. It was the Big Three era when you had Shaq get traded to the Lakers from Orlando. That was really like, if you were a kid at that time and you remember Shaq of the Orlando Magic getting traded to the Lakers, that was something, putting two superstars together that weren't drafted together. I mean, think about that time too, because sure, I think Charles Barkley got traded and played for like Houston, like in the late '90s. It was at the end of his career, but we really had never seen from the '80s on, from the Bird and Magic era on.
That's real.
You had never really seen a superstar like Shaq get traded at that point. I mean, everything else from the '80s, it was all these guys that were kind of
free agent,
drafted by the team or acquired by the team in some standard way at the time, like the Lakers, the Celtics, the Pistons, the Bulls.
It's always the Lakers, because the Lakers went and got Kareem from the Bucks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But think about the champions, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Pistons, the Bulls, the Rockets even. They traded for Clyde Drexler, and that was a big deal back then. But if you look at the NBA now and the era we're in with the new collective bargaining agreement, you will never see a Big Three again. You have to win the way Oklahoma City has won, by drafting, by developing, and getting lucky. Now, look, SGA was a budding superstar his rookie season for the LA Clippers. They made a trade, and they won. They acquired SGA. He developed into the player that he is, and they won. This is the fourth youngest team in the history of the NBA to win a championship. Fourth youngest team in the NBA currently. They have no major free agents. They have no free agents. They have like 11 draft picks.
Yeah.
They could do this for the next 5 years.
We'll see, because the question always comes up is, who's the face of the league? Every time someone wins the championship, Ryan, is this guy's the face of the league. Well, Giannis won. He's the face of the league. Well, Joker won. Last year, here's Jason Tatum. He's finally won. He's he's the face of the league. Now here's SGA. Here's SGA. Here's this team. They said it. They went out. They did it. Is he the face? This is my take on the face. I think the face of the MVP, the face of the league, those days are done. I don't think you'll see a true face for a while. SGA can be a good representative of the league. We've had plenty of players that were really good, represent the league in a positive way. Tim Duncan, most notably, comes to mind. Like, he can be a player like that. Now, he's way more fashion forward and he's smoother, but he can be a player like that. You know what it takes to be the face of the league, Ryan? One, you got to be the unquestioned best player in the league. Unquestioned. Two, dynasties. You don't become the face until you win dynasties. Magic is the first face of the NBA. I understand Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt and Bill Russell. Those were teams. Magic is the first personality. 5 championships in 9 years. Face. Insert Michael Jordan. Don't even have to speak on it. Face. How many championships does he have, Brian? 6 and 6. You become the face. You take over, although he was the face before that. And then the last face is, you know who, LeBron James. You can dog the record out. It's not a bad one, but he's got 4 of those things. Dynasties are how you build the face of the league. It's not something that's just, here's the championship, here's the face. Here's the championship, here's the face. He's got to do this next year. And then he's got to do it the year after that. Or he's got to get to another one and lose. He's got to win 2 and 3 years. That's how you become the face of the league. It's not bestowed. They're trying to give Jason Tatum the face of the league before he even won one. Anthony Edwards, is he the face of the league? No. He doesn't have a title. He hasn't been to that game, and he's got to take the ego out of the game, because that's the other side. SGA has no ego. Jordan had no ego when it came to when he started winning championships. Steph Curry, no ego when he won a championship.
And SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder remind me a lot of the San Antonio Spurs and Tim Duncan, because Duncan, Hall of Famer. Did Tim Duncan at any point in your life, was he considered the best player in the game at the time? No, he wasn't.
Always just called the best power forward.
Yep, and even that, it was like
Dirk.
It was fine,
Yeah.
right? Like
King-
it was like,
King
how is
Jr.
he doing this? There's nothing exciting about the game. It was almost like there was no. I was gonna say it's
Wasn't
like
sexy.
Well, yeah, it was almost like watching a WNBA game. That they do everything fundamentally correct.
The big fundamental.
You know, I mean,
like an old school
seriously, just watching Tim Duncan play basketball is kind of like watching the WNBA. That is so like where they do so well, like their passing and their moves and
Free
their,
throw.
like everything's great form and everything like that. There's nothing sexy about the way Tim Duncan played basketball, not to me. And I feel like that about OKC a little bit. Maybe it's because of the small market thing, but when San Antonio was winning 5 championships, I never thought that was good for the league. Go back, I just
what's
off
so
the
crazy
cuff
about
right
that?
now. I mean,
Never back to back though.
never back to back.
Never won a
But look at
back-to-back.
San Antonio's championships back then, and I probably could have some time to do this tonight, but they were probably in that era in a 10-year period.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they were 5 of the worst.
Nah.
Those 5 championships that San Antonio won,
of the worst.
I
So-
guarantee you were
All right, so here
6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
First
Oh.
one.
Okay, here we
7, 8,
go.
9,
First
10.
one I can't remember. That was David Robinson. Spurs, they would have played against. Oh, I do know. I think it was the Knicks. We'll say the Knicks. Then they swept LeBron in 06 or 07. They swept LeBron. They had the infamous. They beat the you know what out of Miami and LeBron. That's 3 bad finals. I can't remember the other 2. Is it the Net? Oh, they beat.
I don't know.
They beat the Nets.
Yeah.
They beat the Nets. They beat the Cavs. They beat the Heat. They beat the
Beat the Heat in
Knicks.
2014.
Oh my God. Okay, so I have
Cavs in 07.
So I have there's this thing called the internet.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I'm gonna take a break, and I'm gonna take the commercial break.
Yeah, right on.
And I am going to get you this answer because this fancy thing called the internet. I just want to see like what my if my projection is true. We'll have that for you coming up next. But first, a message from White Claw.
Tigers still kicking. You know what? And you need to be there. You need to be there with Woodward Sports, man. Get involved. Get in the game. You know how you do it. You can join the White Claw Tigers Tour. That's right. June 29th, this Friday, we'll be at the Old Miami, man. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be cool on the inside. We got drinks going. We got food. Everything centered around your Detroit Tigers, man. Sponsored by Ben Johnson Law as well as White Claw. We want you to party with us, man. Woodward Sport. We do it best, whether it's Ryan, whether it's Maz, whether it's the heavies or Neil Rule, D-Mac. We just want to be one of those fellas to hang out, have a good time, or one of the ladies to hang out and have a good time watching the game. Come on down. Old Miami this Friday.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We're in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, 0 down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here, do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. It's 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Oh, there we go. I know you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. Doesn't matter if it's hoodies, tees, hats, it's all guaranteed to turn heads. So make sure you check out the latest designs right now. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Get them today at shop.woodwardsports.com. Check them out.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Let's be honest, we like simple stuff. Gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sign in, before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. So, hour number 2, I did some homework. I did some research. Now, I will say, the research that I did, the Spurs have won 5 titles, but it went from 07 was their 4th title, didn't win again until 14.
Yeah.
So I went from a 10-year period from 1999 to 2008, where they won 4 titles in those 10 years. And just a sample size, just quickly. In 1998, probably not fair, but just goes to show you what Michael Jordan did for the league.
Yeah.
In 1998, Michael Jordan, the Bulls win their 6th title. They got an 18.7 share. 29 million viewers. When the Spurs beat the Knicks in 1999, now mind you, they're playing the Knicks.
And it's a lockout year.
11.3 rating, 16 million viewers, 13, almost half.
Yeah.
The audience was cut almost in half. Think about that for a second.
No Michael, no playoffs.
So, in the 4 championships that the San Antonio Spurs won in 10 years, just in the 10-year snapshot, 99 to 2008, they had the 10th highest rating.
Okay.
They had the 9th highest rating. They had the 8th highest rating and the 4th. And the 4th, by the way, was the year after Michael Jordan left, and they were playing the Knicks in the final.
And that's,
so that was an 11.3 rating in 99.
That was the Knicks' first time going since 73.
70s. Right. So, yeah. 2001, 2000, 2004, the Pistons championship was the third highest. 1999. It's not good for basketball. It's not good.
And there's the ratings from Game 7.
Yeah, 16 millions. 16 millions. Millions.
16.3.
Watching around the world.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, that's so funny.
That's because it's funny. I think I did see this on Colin. Colin was talking about the where the game was like then versus now. Like the I don't know how to explain. He's talking about the nicknames. He's talking about how dunking was in and the things of those natures. And like you have signature players and stars and moves. Like now it's more of a fluid team game. So even last year, Jason Tatum's a star of the Boston Celtics, but it's a fluid flow. Like here's Derek, that's funny. Here's Derek White, here's Jason Tatum, here's Jaylen Brown, here's Pritchard, here's all the guys, Horford. Like it's everybody's getting in on the act. Like it's not just a star that's doing what a Kobe did, that's doing what a Shaq did. Like Shaq was phenomenal when they won and when you're watching and you're tuned in. When LeBron won, you may not like him, but when they won, it was what he did, 40 points a night. And then you have Kyrie dropping 40 a night. Those were fun to watch because you have stars doing what they do. SGA's game is very fluid. You don't even know he had 38. Like you don't even know he had 35. His stats are great stats, but they're so easy and how he does it, it's like, he's not really making it happen. Like when Shaq got 42, you knew Shaq had 42. And you knew the finals was on. So I think that's part of it as well.
Did you see his interview on Good Morning America the next morning, too?
SGA?
I mean, they should not do that to those athletes.
Right.
I mean, he was totally fine. It was just he was so tired.
Yeah, you're
I
exhausted.
mean, it was like he was falling asleep in the chair. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, his offseason.
People try to get everything right now. Like if they don't get it this morning, then it's old news. If they have it tomorrow or the next day, like, well, I'm still the champ, man. It still was recent, but
right.
You get that morning, it doesn't happen.
Did you say you wanted to say something about SGA or that?
No, SGA is fine.
Oh.
No, SGA is fine. I think he's a damn good player. I just think as it relates to the face, it takes
the face.
It takes a second to get there, and it comes from multiple championships. It comes from a dynasty. Hell, even at one point, Steph was the face of the league. You almost you could kind of make him a 3B to LeBron, much like you can make Magic a 1B to make Bird a 1B to Magic. But yeah.
Tigers.
Who?
Huh?
I said who?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Tigers get back in action tonight against the Athletics. Now, this is one of those nights where I just wouldn't want to be at the ballpark.
Nah. It's hot, man. You said it's going to cool off and get down to 69. I'm not buying
It's still going to be humid, though.
I'm not buying that heat index. 69 is only the temp. The heat index is...
I'm sorry. Before I get to Tigers, I'm sorry about that. I stepped all over. You wanted to talk about the NBA draft.
Oh, no, it's absolutely cool. I was just going to say this is another year in which you just don't know who's in the draft. Even if you follow through the national
Cooper
championship.
Flagg.
He's the only one. You got Cooper Flagg, got a couple other players. It's just interesting. It's the enrollment rate. We've talked about that. Pete, you bring it up. You do a good job. It's only 125 players enrolled for the draft this year. A lot of players would rather not be drafted. You see the whole Austin Reeves deal from 3 seasons ago. Austin Reeves could have gotten drafted by a team in the late first round, and they reached out, had the conversation. He told me that I appreciate if you didn't draft me. I'll take chances of my own. Turning down a first round draft pick for your dream, especially coming out of a small school, because you believe in yourself and you know that you can do it behind the scenes and you can choose your situation. I think that's what guys are now doing. I don't want to just get drafted to some BS because you call my name. I'll sacrifice the cash, go somewhere, get paid a little bit, and then I know that is the fit for me. I couldn't tell you half the guys.
No, it's been like that kind of for a while.
Foreign.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. A lot of foreign players. Guys, Tigers open up a 6-game homestand with the A's tonight. Tarek Skubal on the mound. Luis Severino actually gets the start for the A's. He's an interesting player. Could he be one of those starting pitchers on the move? Is that a guy that you'd like to see in a Tigers uniform? Not having a great year with the A's, but we know how these things work out. You've got a guy that's playing for a crappy team in a crappy stadium in Sacramento. Really no juice other than getting paid the contract that you're getting paid by the A's. Is this a guy that you could potentially see in a Tigers uniform at the trade deadline? I'd love to see it. Severino's a really good player. He's battle-tested, and we'll see what he's got tonight. But nonetheless, Tigers and A's from Comerica Park.
Sir. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this series, man, because the Tigers really, I think, because they're coming off that snide that they're on, guys. They didn't do well in Tampa. They've lost, was it 3 of their last 5? And I think that the A's are going to be good quality medicine tonight for the Tigers to get back on the get everything back on the railroad tracks and get everything running smoothly. I think you're right on Luis Severino, Ryan. I think that he's a good right-handed pitcher, former Yankee, solid. You said battle-tested. He's been through the ringer. I think he's perfect for the Tigers going forward as either a good 5th starter or even bring him in for a good solid 2 or 3 innings as a middle relief. But I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this series because it's going to be for what ails you,
Here's what I'm sorry.
No, I said it's definitely it's going to be a great series, and they need to use this series to springboard them into the next 2 because the next 2 get interesting. The next 2 are in your division. You come against the Guardians second, and you start with the Twins. I think you got the Twins for 5, Guardians for 3 or 4. That's going to be important. So in my eyes, they got to get back on track against the Athletics because the division is coming, and the division wants a piece of the Tigers and how well they've been playing.
One of my favorite players in Major League Baseball is playing for the
Serrano?
A's in this series. Nope. Denzel Clark batting 9th, playing center field for the I don't know, what do you call them? Just the Athletics?
Just
the A's? Just the Athletics? That's what we're calling them.
The American A's.
Yeah, just the Athletics. But Denzel Clark gets the start tonight in center field. It's going to be a joy to watch him play that big center field out there at Comerica Park. He's the guy that
the catch
jumped halfway up the wall for that catch. I think it was in California when they played the Angels. Yeah, so he's that guy. So we'll see. Braylon, Tigers could potentially have 3 All-Stars start in the All-Star game. Gleyber Torres, leading vote getter at second base. Riley Green and Javi Baez, 2 and 3 in the outfield. But Javi Baez as an outfielder could potentially start out there. Is it raining out there?
It's getting ready. It's over us. I'm watching the radar. The cell's like right over us.
Yeah, 100%. Couple transponders and power boxes have gone up through text. I found this out. I hope you guys are safe out there. With that being said, shout out to El Mago. Excited for Javi Baez. But no, this is a testament to the Tigers, man. It's a testament to the guy they brought in. They want to bring a guy in and get bats. They trust the experience of Gleyber Torres. Brought him into the system that they're running. And look at it. He took off running Riley Green. Riley Green is the guy. We appreciate what he did last year. You started to see the budding star that he was going to be. And he's taken off again this year. Actually, taking it to another level. And just watching Javi Baez find himself, but watching the team surround him and be around him. The Javi Baez one is the more interesting one, or the crazier one of the two, because I think he's the MLB individual story this year. When you watch other baseball players talk about Javi Baez, when you watch other skips talk about Javi Baez, or even commentators, he's become kind of like, always is Detroit sports, but he's become like the darling of the MLB world right now. Like, he wouldn't be in if he was playing this well and everybody else wasn't talking about him, if he was just playing like that. But because last year, and people saying, get him out of Detroit, fans saying that, it gaining national attention. Man, Javi Baez is having one of the worst seasons in MLB recorded history 2 years ago. So to go from that to what people are watching, his story and his play have him in the All-Star boat right now.
Also,
I love it.
Also, Tarek Scuba, we talked about this a little bit yesterday at Buddy's. We want to thank everybody at Buddy's downtown. That was a remarkable remote that we did yesterday on Broadway. Just a stone's throw away from Comerica Park. I encourage everybody, if you're heading down to the game tonight or this week, stop at Buddy's. It is one of the greatest locations in downtown Detroit. Go eat the pizza. Everybody carries pizza out these days. to go eat pizza there is pretty awesome. And
It's fresher. Fresh out of the oven.
God.
Fresher. They
And
take
Mike,
the time.
You
with it.
gotta have your antipasta salad too, which
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
yesterday. That was great. But Tarek Skubal talked about his possible free agency, and I think he's handling this the right way. Chris McCoskey's quote here: "It has nothing to do with me." This is from Chris McCoskey, but this is a Tarek Skubal quote. "It has nothing to do with me not wanting to be here. I hope that's clear. But there is a business side of this game." And that is not as beautiful as the baseball side of this game. That's just what it is. I think that is a beautiful statement. And Braylon, you know as better than anybody, there is a business piece to this that not everybody is privy to. And, of course, I'm sure everybody just wants Tarek Skubal to get paid $100 million for the next 20 years and be a Tiger for life. Not how it works.
This is why you love Tarek Skubal. Tarek Skubal is legitimately just one of the guys. He's one of the guys that loves baseball, and he understands all that. He puts everything into baseball. The other stuff will figure itself out, man, and you appreciate that about him. And what he knows, his agent's going to get the best. He's one of the best agents in the MLB. His agent will get that money, and he also understands that typically the Tigers in the last decade or so haven't necessarily spent the money. So he's understanding that he may have a ticket that may hurt the Detroit Tigers to pay in his mind, so he's perfectly good with it. Me, pay this man his money. Find out how to pay him. You know, we don't have to figure it out now. Like, that's the other thing. I feel we talk too much about it. We talk so much about it that it becomes a distraction for Skubal and, you know, the front office, because they're like, look, just relax. Enjoy the game, as they say. So we're enjoying that. But it will come down the pipeline. They will have to make a decision on Tarek Skubal. I just hope it's the right one. I don't see how you don't craft a way to give this man the 45, 50, whatever it's going to be per year in a smooth way. Do deferred payments kind of like the LA Dodgers did, or find a way in the midst of that to maybe give him some and then deferred payments. But Scoob's your guy. Like, he is the identity. When he steps on the mound, the Detroit Tigers are at full strength. Like, when he's on the mound, in my opinion, when he's on the mound, the Tigers are the Tigers. They scaring you out there a little bit, Ryan?
It's looking wild.
Got a little dark, little Wizard of Oz. Little Ozish.
That cloud is crazy.
Yes. Thank you, Ricky.
Oh, it's a cloud over
there. There is a cloud coming. Yeah. Ricky's looking right at it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's very defined, but it's not moving.
Yeah, you got to go see it.
I have the cell.
Yeah, come check this
out.
out.
Let me get the
it's
camera
standing in one spot. That's what's
just
creeping
stand
me
up.
out.
It don't matter. You can't see it in there, but
go to the left. Go to the left. Go to the left. Go to the left more.
You guys can't see it. It looks light, but it's really dark out there, audience.
Oh, my gosh. That is insane. But it's like just one rain cloud.
Yeah, it's just like hovering. I don't like that.
Oh, man.
No place like home.
Especially after that tornado last week. Like,
oh, my goodness.
Damn, I'm done with that. No doubt.
Guy got us. We'll be all right.
All right, guys. We're going to take a break. Come right back. When we do, Aaron Rodgers spoke to Pat McAfee today.
Guy?
He did. This was a Pat McAfee Tuesday for Aaron Rodgers, or should I say, an Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on Pat McAfee show.
I like that better.
Hear what he had to say about that coming up. But first, a message from Buddy's Pizza. I just told you. We were there yesterday. It's just a fantastic situation. I encourage everybody to go to Buddy's Pizza. And Buddy's Pizza has been serving the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, 22 locations in the state of Michigan, including where it all began in the corner of 6 Mile and Conant. Not only that, this beautiful location in downtown Detroit, just on Broadway across from Comerica Park. Download the Buddy's Pizza mobile app. Start earning today. Add some Detroit-style to your next meal. 10%, save 10% on your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's the number 10, MEAL. Buddy'sPizza.com. Buddy'sPizza.com.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Beligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Make sure you stay connected to Woodward Sports on all social platforms. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, along with YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, latest updates, and that behind-the-scenes action, man. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button right now. Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Stay up to date and be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network. That's at Woodward Sports on all platforms, at Woodward Sports everywhere.
It's not nighttime, by the way. It's middle of the day, but there's a dark cloud there. Guys, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has a total and complete inventory for your shopping needs. Les Stanford Buick GMC. How about a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive, only $259 per month? What about a 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation, only $169 per month? And how about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $699 per month? Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory, or you could press and hold on that QR code right there, and a screen will pop up. You click on that, take you right to their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
Right. Can we get a pan out here?
Yeah, hang on. I got you.
It's nuts, man. It's like it's wintertime.
It's starting to rain now.
It's so dark.
We're on camera.
There we go. Oh,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Isn't that something?
There, yeah, now you can tell.
You know what? Maybe I bought this with me from Bandon Dunes, because this is what it looked like day one.
Wow.
Really?
I mean, the clouds weren't as thick, and the rain wasn't as hard, but it's definitely raining.
Dang. Guys, it's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the Pat McAfee Show. First, before we get to what he said today, not that it was a shocker, but it is news. Anything this guy seems like he does is news these days. But here's what he had to say. We have not played this for you. This is why he chose the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think it starts with Mike Tomlin. I mean, I've been a fan of his for a long time.
My ADD.
There's a few iconic franchises in the NFL. I played for one of them for 18 years. This is another one of those. There's something special about Obviously, this area, so many great quarterbacks are from Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh has been a part of my career from the beginning. Playing for Mike McCarthy for 13 years, having Tom Clements, or Tommy Clements, depending on how old you are, as my quarterback coach forever. Don Capers, Kevin Green, Darren Perry, Ben McAdoo, Frank Signetti, Luke Getsy. I don't want to forget anybody, but a lot of Yinzers in my life.
Saying all the right things.
Listen, it can be a little bit of all those things. He definitely has a relationship with Tomlin. We know this. They respect each other very much. It is still his organization. First of all, shout out to the shade he threw at the New York Jets. He said 18 years. He said, this is one of them. You played for the Jets the last 2 years. Neither here nor there, because you're right. But it is that. It's Tomlin. It's the coordinators. It's the blah, 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 blah. This is the best shot he had at getting full autonomy on a team with a coach he respected that had something in place that could save where his career is. You can give me all that about the 4 MVPs and he won the Super Bowl and he was Super Bowl. You can give me all that about the career, but in the last 6 years, his reputation or his legacy is taking a hit. And this is his best opportunity is to rebound it with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have needed a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger, third to last season. And also, too, it's a chance to do something with a story franchise. You do something with the Steelers, it's remembered. Who knows if he goes to one of these franchises and does something. Does it matter in the pantheon of things? I think the Steelers and Mike Tomlin have an understanding. Hey, look, Aaron, we're going to give you a lot of space to do the things you want to do. You got to go out there and be great. That's the conversation between two individuals that have done it that long. There's not a big one. There's not, okay, well, what about this? And I'll give you this, and we can work on this. Look, Aaron, we brought you here to do what the hell you used to do. What you used to do, this is why we brought you here. My ass is on the line. Yours is on the line. Your legacy, my legacy. They're talking about Mike Tomlin's legacy. It's no longer good enough that he's not having losing seasons. What have you done for me lately? When's the last playoff win? When's the last game you were in the playoffs that actually looked like a playoff game that you were in? Tomlin knows his legacy is on the line as well. So I think they have linked up in that same space. I recognize it. You recognize it. Let's get to work. This was the best space for him. You wouldn't have got that anywhere else. He would have either got full autonomy of a bummy team or he would have got to a San Francisco 49ers or team like that before Brock Purdy. And they'd be like, look, there's limits to what you can and cannot do.
Let's assume for a minute that Aaron Rodgers is great, okay?
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Look, he was really good at the end of last season. I don't care what anybody says. He was playing some really good football at the end of last season on a dysfunctional team. If he plays great, of course not MVP caliber great. You don't have that in you. But if you play Tom Brady great, 43-year-old Tom Brady great.
That was still MVP level. Tom had 5,100 yards passing his last season. But I get what you're saying.
Okay, my question is...
Joe Flacco, a couple years ago.
Yeah, my question is, if he does that, how good can this Pittsburgh Steelers team be in the AFC? Sorry, I got something in my eye. But how good can he be, or how good can the Steelers be in this AFC, assuming he plays great?
Listen, let's be real. If he plays great, they got a shot because the defense is always going to figure it out at some point. There's some weapons on offense. You bring in DK Metcalf. The line's a little bit better this year. Warren as a running back. Warren's a damn good running back. He's newer. Let me not say damn good. Warren is finding himself in this NFL, and I think he's going to be a really good player. And you got some younger guys, too. There's something there on offense. Defense is always going to be defense. You got T.J. Watt next to Cameron Hayward and Mink in the back, you'll be all right. They can do something. Because Cincinnati Bengals, what don't they have? Like, defense. For as great as Joe Burrow is, Joe Burrow's got to score 40 points a night.
At least 30 to win a game.
Okay, 30, at least 33 points to win a game. Yeah. That's what he has to do. So that's darn near perfect. Look at the Cleveland Browns. Glad you looked at them. That look is over with. So all you really have to worry about is the Baltimore Ravens in your own division. If you can split a series with the Ravens, take the Cleveland series, split a series with the Cincinnati Bengals, you got a shot. Just play good ball. I don't want to subscribe into Aaron Rodgers saving Pittsburgh and winning playoff games and this, that, and the third. But you ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. The answer is yes. If Aaron Rodgers plays like he did at the end of last season, regardless of why he played that way, if he does, this team's got a shot. You've got Super Bowl head coach, Super Bowl quarterback, and you got guys on the opposite side that are going into Canton pretty much as soon as they're done. Like that's a lot.
Can we do a fun exercise real quick?
I would love it.
Okay. This is the game. Assuming that Aaron Rodgers is great, you tell me if the Pittsburgh Steelers can be better than this team.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
The Buffalo. Give me a little music here, Ricky. A little dramatic purposes.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. The Buffalo Bills.
No.
The Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Yes.
The New York Jets.
Yes.
Yes.
The the New England Patriots.
Yes.
Okay. The Baltimore Ravens.
No.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Barely, but
No.
I'm going to go Braylon's knowledge
Gotcha.
over
Yeah,
all of us
obviously,
together.
please do.
Okay. Cleveland Browns.
yes.
Houston Texans. That's an interesting one.
Yes.
Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes on the Jags. I'm going to say no on the Texans. I'm going to go back and revoke my answer.
Okay. So, you screwed my count up.
No, just leave it as.
Okay, I'm going to leave it as a no right now. We can go back
good.
at the end. So, Jacksonville Jaguars.
No. Yes, they're better. Yes. For
Yes.
Sure.
So, that's 3. Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Chargers.
No.
Denver Broncos.
Yes.
Raiders.
Yes.
You have them as the 4th best team potentially in the AFC.
If everything goes right.
That feels about right. Right? Doesn't that feel about right? Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked? I mean, and again, this is a team that wins 9, 10, 11 games every year
100%.
anyway.
100%. They were literally last year, Ryan, they were 7-2, 8. They were 8-2 after 10 games.
Yeah. I mean, with Russell Wilson as their quarterback.
In fact, they definitely were because they were 4-0.
They were 8-2.
Yeah, they were 8-2 after 4 games. And this is with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. You would laugh if I asked you, did you want this to be your starting quarterback? Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, they were 8-2.
They won 10 games in 23, 10 games in 24. You don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to match that 10? With no quarterback, by the way, in 23 and 24.
100%.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to match that win total and maybe get an extra 1 or 2?
Do I think this is going to happen? No. But if you made me bet my money, Ryan, if you made me bet my money, and I don't know if that makes sense, I would bet it on it happening. Because I think these two individuals, barring injury, we're not talking about injury, I think these two individuals are desperate to have success one last time, have this hurrah one last time.
Oh, my God. Did you see this?
No.
Did you know who the first team, the week 1?
Yeah, the Jets.
At Jets.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, come on now.
So at least they get to start with a win.
Can we have some fun real quick?
Go through their schedule?
Yes.
Let's go through their schedule.
Can we do this? Okay. This is fun. I love
You live for this.
I love this stuff. If Colin can do game-by-game New York Giants today, I can do game-by-game Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me a little something here, Ricky. Keeps me awake.
You're like SGA over there.
All right, Bray. At the Jets.
Yes.
Wait, you say win.
I'm sorry, win.
Win. What kind of win? Versus Seattle. Home opener.
Where it's in
Pittsburgh.
That's a win.
At New England.
Loss.
Versus Minnesota.
Loss.
Versus Cleveland.
Win.
At Cincinnati.
Loss.
3-3 so far. Versus Green Bay.
Win.
Versus Indianapolis.
Win.
At Chargers.
Loss.
Versus Cincinnati.
Win.
At Chicago.
Win.
Versus Buffalo.
Aaron Rodgers wins in Chicago. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Buffalo. Loss.
At Baltimore.
Loss. Damn.
Versus Miami.
W.
At Detroit.
Loss.
At Cleveland.
W.
Versus Baltimore.
W.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 and 7. That's fine. You're in the wild card.
And they beat Baltimore because Baltimore won't be playing their starters the last game of the year. That's why I had them do that. And in Cincinnati, I think they're gonna split, and they beat the Cleveland Browns.
That was a really good. That was a really good game by game.
That was a good one.
That was fun.
That was a really good game by game.
Because there was a couple of hesitant moments in there, like the Chargers one. Like I want to say yes, but they're not going out there and beating the fight. And Jimmy's not this year.
Right.
I was actually golfing with Will Dissly, who now is with the Charger, and we were talking about Jim Harbaugh in that space. But that Chargers team they're gonna be right this year.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers did say today on the Pat McAfee show that this most likely is his final season. That's no surprise, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
No surprise.
it's time to call it a career, and this is probably it. So they say every good fighter has one more good fight in him, one more knockout in him. Maybe this is Aaron Rodgers. I think it would be really good for the NFL if Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers were good, because for crying out loud, we see them enough on frickin' national TV.
I think, this is the difference between the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers deal. It's like Brett Favre, when he left, Brett Favre went to Minnesota, and Brett Favre tore it up. Brett Favre was a play away from being in the Super Bowl and it not being Drew Brees. Then he goes to the Jets, and what does he do? He was 11-2, Ryan. First 13 games. Then he gets injured. Then he retires. But Brett was able to take it past Green Bay. Aaron, we got to see what it is. And that's why I think he could potentially do it. Side note, Colin did say something dope. Talking about where the franchise was, and this relates to our division. That's why I'm bringing it up. The Green Bay Packers, when Brett Favre was playing there, they were like the team in the NFL. Or they were like one of the ones. Like because John Madden loved Brett Favre. When it got to Aaron Rodgers, still was a great team. They still got the primetime games, but you know, it went down a little bit. They weren't as big. And now with Jordan Love, you're like, go Packers. All right. Like the brand has changed and started when he got rid of Brett.
Guys, we're going to take a break. More NFL when we come back. But first, a message from Caesars.
You got it, guys. We were just talking earlier in the chat, if you were there, about the Pistons' future bets. You might as well scan that QR code above my head and use the code word over there, Woodward1000, and open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you do so, make your first deposit and make your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you get it back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code above my head. Use the code word over there, Woodward1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, and we'll be right back.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
You got it, everybody. One more QR code for you to scan above my head, and that'll take you to Feldman Chevrolet. Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and in Lansing. And this month's specials include a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew. You can lease that for just $149 per month, or the 2026 Equinox LT. You can lease that for just $209 per month. Scan that QR code above my head and pay a visit to Feldman Chevrolet.
Wrong one on that. We got to talk about the fighter, and that's Ben Johnson Law. I was looking at the other ad where they bringing you to the White Claw, sponsored by Ben Johnson Law. Look, if you need a trial attorney, look no further than Ben Johnson Law. Justice, it means different things to different people, but whether it's settlement or verdict, we're here for you at Ben Johnson Law. If you got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law today and get the justice you deserve. Tough, tenacious lawyers. But more importantly, they're trial lawyers, so they're not as scared. They want the smoke. They want to make you happy. Come to Ben Johnson Law today.
Hey, Braylon, I wanted to get your take on Michigan football, if I could, because there was an article from Angelique Shingelis in the Detroit News today about Eric Soup Campbell, your wide receiver coach, coming back to Michigan. He was a former Michigan football player. He spent the last 6 seasons on the Bowling Green staff, and now he's back with Sharon Moore. First, before we talk about where he wants to take these wide receivers in this wide receiver room now, tell me about Soup Campbell, what he meant to you and all of the great wide receivers that were at Michigan from 95 through 07. And there were some good ones. I mean, yourself, Ty Streets, Mario Manningham, David Terrell, Jason Avant, Steve Breston. I mean, he made those guys better.
I smoked all those fools. No, that's a line from Jerry Maguire, by the way. It's a little cute. Shout out to Cuba Gooding Jr. Tough, fair, but understands he wants to teach you how to do it the right way. You know, and I don't want to be cliche, but when you're talking about Soup, we're going to use those terms. He wants you to understand the position the right way. He wants you to understand the fundamentals. He wants you to understand doing it right. Get your depth. If the route calls for 10 yards, you're not breaking it 8 because you're excited and you want the ball. If the route calls for you to convert against cover 2, I don't care what you see. You convert against cover 2. Doing it the right way. Also, he teaches you the whole concept of the offense. You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a Soup-type wide receiver. Shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was the highest graded route runner in the NFL last year by Pro Football Focus. But this is the type of Soup wide receiver. He blocks when his number is called. He gets depth when his number is called. He will be a decoy when his number calls. That's what Soup. That's how he taught the game, man. And he's funny. What's going on, boy? You know, he has the lisp. He's funny, but he cares about his players too. He treats his players like sons. He has his dinner that he does, every year, and you bring over and you share stories. But Soup cares about the players. He don't want you to just be the best football player. He wants you to be the best man that you can be in life. He wants you to go past football, if you will, and so he's going to teach it the right way. And I think he and Ron Bellamy working together is going to create a phenomenal room for these young wide receivers. I think that's a space that they can get better at. I think that's why it was bought. That's why he was brought in, is to help Ron out. I think this landscape has changed, coaching the wide receiver position, and I think he'll help Ron get better at that. You got a guy that played for Soup, and now Soup's there. Soup deserves to be at Michigan. You can't have Michigan, especially in the last 25 years, without Eric Soup Campbell, because the players you name Like, they made Michigan great in those eras, mid-'90s, 2000s. So it's good that he's back home.
And it feels the same way for Fred Jackson. I mean, when Fred Jackson came back to be on the sidelines for Michigan,
hey, what's going on there, boy?
I mean, it just felt like everything was right with the world when you see that guy on the sidelines for Michigan. Fred Jackson's there. I wanted to get to this, and I apologize to Jared Sayers, who was in the Super Chat, and I did not see it. Thank you so much, Jared. $5. According to the YouTube info, tomorrow is show number 700. Congrats to the whole team. Love listening daily while I have lunch and finish the workday. So thank you very much, Jared. We certainly appreciate that support.
Of
Here
those
on
700 shows, how many do you think you did?
The first 3 years, a lot.
Real?
A lot.
So I was thinking of mine. I'm like, I'm probably 575.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. 500.
Oh, you docked me another 75?
No, you're probably, I don't know. The first
we were going
first 3 years, we were going I was pretty much every day.
Yeah, maybe 600. Maybe.
You probably, yeah.
And then maybe 550 for you.
Yeah, something. So interesting. It is. Look, it's funny. This Woodward Sports, and I really mean that. This is something that is still so new to people in Detroit. Mm-hmm. You think about turning the TV on or turning the radio on, and then you have this new media. Everybody's trying to do this. Yeah. And it was Woodward Sports that was the first all-digital platform, really, content platform, sports platform, news, like anything. It's still, to this day, there is not a network that does all digital like Woodward Sports.
Yeah.
I mean,
it elements of it, but it's not fully like you said.
Exactly. Everybody's, doing some version of it, but this is the bread and butter of this place, and it is a unique format. You do need to, it grows over time. You need to let people know that you're there every single day. And again, you've got shows from 8 in the morning, and they've done things. We've done things that worked. We did things that didn't work. We've had shows on nights and weekends, and then we honed it into trying to do it a little bit more from 8 to 7 or whatever. But it is incredible stuff, and
incredible ride.
700 shows. Who would have thought we'd be around that long when we first started back after COVID?
Yeah, we don't get to 700 shows without you guys, though. If
no
there's
doubt.
No you, there's no 700. There's no 2. There's no 1 show if it's not for loyal fans or the members of the family that we call now. So we appreciate everyone in there. I'd be remiss if we didn't say that. You cannot get to Ryan. This is 4 years coming up. 700 shows. You can't get there without the fans. Fans, you've been amazing, and you've kept us on air, so we appreciate you guys.
No doubt. Guys, there's a breaking trade today in the NBA as well. I want to get to that. And look, is this going to change the balance of power anywhere at all? Anywhere? Probably not, I would say. But the Washington Wizards and the New Orleans Pelicans have made a trade. Pelicans trade C.J. McCollum and Kelly Olynyk to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the number 40 pick. So they swap second-round picks or a future second-round pick. But C.J. McCollum, man, is there a guy that kind of – he's not going to go do anything in Washington, right? He was a really rising star with Dame Lillard in Portland, and he's a really nice player, but
C.J. McCollum is a great player, but he's a great player as a number 2. He's always going to be a great Robin. He was a great Robin for Dame Lillard. And then when Zion Williams was healthy, Zion Williamson was kind of healthy. For a moment, there were splotches, but I think he's past that prime of being a superstar number 2. I think he's a guy that just fits into a system and kind of help out with his playoff experience. He is very savvy. He's very sharp, knows the game. I actually like when he's on ESPN during basketball season and breaks down the playoff. He does a phenomenal job. He's kind of like Trajan Langdon. He's like Trajan Langdon, a little more personality. I think it does nothing though for
nothing
Wizards.
for either team.
It does nothing for either team.
Both teams are nothing.
Maybe Jordan.
Nothing burgers.
Because I don't think the Pelicans are in a good space to figure players out. You see the whole thing of how it played out with Zion Williamson. Jordan Poole has a baggage reputation that kind of follows him and how he plays on this field. So on the court, I don't know if that helps them out at all. So we'll see.
Yeah, so you've got that trade aside. But if I could just get back to Michigan football real quick, Braylon, just, so much been made about Bryce Underwood and, if he's going to be the quarterback to start at Michigan. And it's one thing when you have, like, an experienced wide receiver group at Michigan. Like, I just off the top of my head right now, sitting here, I mean, half brain dead from the day, but I can't think of one wide receiver. I mean, Samaj Morgan. Okay, Samaj Morgan is there, but, like, who else is a wide receiver? Who's Bryce Underwood going to throw to? I mean,
we shall see.
Yeah,
I mean, they got a couple guys up there, but it's more so they got Marsh is coming in. They've moved into certain positions.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much time to talk about it, but
we got a lot of time. But this is what it is in the short for right now. Soup, aka Eric Campbell. Soup's gonna get the guys right. Like, that's what you need. You need guys to be where they're gonna be at. And so I think it's very pivotal for this year for Bryce Underwood. It's not about having a superstar receiver like Jeremiah Smith down there at Ohio State or insert this wide receiver that got paid $1 billion. It's about having guys that know where the hell they're supposed to go and how to get there. You get guys that you can trust. You get some guys, some wide receivers, they're getting their depth. They're getting open. They know how to be there for the quarterback. They know the concepts. They can move around a little bit. You have some trustworthiness now as a quarterback. You can evolve because you got guys you can trust. You got spots that you can hit. You're like, all right, cool. He's here. He's there. He's always here. Now you start to build a little more confidence in yourself and you take chances. Now they open up the playbook a little bit more. So I think that's what Soup and Ryan have to get these wide receivers. They got some guys. They got a wide receiver, Channing. Channing is going to be nice. Channing is going to be smooth. Shout out to Jaden Davis on the low. Quarterback.
Yeah,
Jaden,
baby. Come on, Jaden
put on
Davis.
some muscle. I was talking
I'm
to
rooting
him
for that kid.
at the event on main event with Charles Woodson. Was talking to him. But that's what we need out of wide receivers this year. Know how to get open, know where to be, catch the ball. Like, we're not asking those guys to go out there and be a Biletnikoff winner. Not this year. If they can have that, Bryce can grow within this offense. And how he'll be opening night against Oklahoma, or UNLV, then Oklahoma, he won't be that same quarterback when you get into the depth of the season and eventually Ohio State, who actually comes to Ann Arbor this year.
Can I pay another compliment to Eric Campbell and
please,
Soup? Because, Braylon, I've talked about it, from him coming to Bowling Green. What he did with, Bowling Green being a Mid-American conference, obviously, you don't get first round and second round draft picks very often, if ever. And for the fact that he turned Harold Fannin Jr., who's a tight end, by the way, so, Soup can work with both the receivers and the tight end. I don't know who the next tight end is up for Michigan. I'm just saying this guy is a magician. If he can, Harold Fannin Jr. was a high, I think the first, second round pick for the Browns. I mean, that's how coveted he is. I mean, at the tight end position, Soup Campbell's a magician. I think Michigan is going to be just fine with the next guy up. Pretty much. Coaching is awesome.
I can't wait now to football season, especially on these 90-degree days. I just want to get to the 60s.
Right? A little sweater weather.
Right. Oh, my God. It's so funny. What do you guys got going on tonight? Anything?
Just chilling, man. I just got back in town, man. So, like, you see all those miles I walked. My legs are tired, worked out today. I'm just kicking my feet up. It's raining. Nothing to do.
Now let me ask you a stupid question. When you play golf at a place like that you just did in Oregon, how do you go to, and we got great golf here. Yeah. No doubt about it. I mean, some of the best in the country, really, when it comes to public courses. It's a great place for golf. But how do you go to a regular course?
I can't. Right? It's so funny. I was on the way in, I was talking to Max, and I was telling Max the same thing. Like, I was driving. Keep in mind what I'm about to say. I was driving by the Oakland Hills.
Yeah.
Let me say it again. The Oakland Hills. Don't you know I looked to the left on the north course, and I looked to the right on the south course, and was like,
Right.
Nah. I was looking at the sun earlier off the water. Like when you drive down Corton, when you come down Corton Road, You make this bend, sun's on the water, it looks nice. I'm like,
Yeah, because you just see houses in the background.
I've just seen the Pacific.
Yeah, right.
I've just seen a cliff. I've just seen like inverted angles on a green that you can't really explain how they made them, but it's no trees on the course. There's no, and that's the one thing I love about Michigan courses. Like Michigan is one of the greenest states in the country. It's the trees on the course. It's the pine. It's the lines. That's kind of what lines the fairway. Pete, you can speak on as well as the shrubbery, the brushes, the green on top of the green. Out there, it's more heather/fescue, if you will, and super smooth fairways, super smooth roughs. It has a difference to it, so you can miss some Michigan courses, especially if you get up north. You know, you get Crystal Downs as well as Acadia Bluffs. Those two can compete.
Pete, did you want to add anything?
I was going to say you guys missed some irony today.
Okay.
Kind of off subject. Take a look at Ricky and I.
Oh my gosh, same Tigers shirt. Look at that. That's the 84 logo.
Yeah, the old school
Where'd you get that from?
Ridiculous.
I don't know. My wife found it somewhere.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's
I got mine from a street vendor.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty good stuff.
Ironic. There you go. But I agree with you, Brad.
That's because the Tigers, man.
Tigers, baby.
It's all about the Tigers right now.
What about you? What you got going? Today's Tuesday. You got ninjas?
Today's Tuesday. Well, my washer and dryer broke. Actually, let me rephrase
Those are
that.
expensive.
The washer broke. Flooded my laundry room last night.
No.
So my wife went and, she had somebody come out today. Nope, dead washer. So I had to go buy a new washer today. And you can't just buy the washer because of the same measurements.
Yes, I've been through this.
Same measurements.
Oh my God.
So
I was gonna.
she
I
just
was gonna
texted
say
me
that.
and said I just bought a new dryer.
Yeah.
too.
Little Facebook Marketplace.
Is yours available today? At least it's
tomorrow.
Okay,
but
that's not
I've
bad.
got a huge mess in my laundry room right now.
I had to wait like 2 months for mine.
Yeah.
Like one
tough.
came, but the other one wasn't there. It was.
But you know what?
Kudos
it's all
to you.
good.
It is.
It's all good.
It could be worse.
problem.
At least
Hey,
you got
know
it
what?
fixed.
Hey,
The
look.
fact that you were able to get a new one.
Right. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit of aggravation is no big deal.
Yeah.
And it's warranted.
No.
Aggravation is frustration. Aggravation can be warranted.
Yeah.
Aggravation. Yeah, no. I mean, I just got to clean a little something up.
Not to let it linger for too long.
Yeah,
And that's when you-
nobody's sick. Nobody's dying.
There you go.
You know?
There
right?
you go, right?
Even though I'm damn tired today.
Go get some sleep, Ryan. Go get some sleep.
Ray, get us out of here.
Ryan, you go get some sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow. Back into the fold. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Maz will be back here. Anson will be in as well. You're out tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Anson will be in tomorrow. We'll do the show. We're running back. The weather will be nice, and they probably won't cancel the game tonight. So we'll be coming back with a Tarek Skubal story. Expect 8 strikeouts, 1 hit, and I'm going.
Carrie's out tonight.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. Give me Omago and Dylan Dingler.
Yeah. Dingler, baby.
2 home runs.
Come on, Dingler.
Dingler.
Feeling good?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
You feeling great?
Feeling great.
Feeling good. How are you? Ryan Ermanni, Pete, Ricky, Braylon, Ralph.